All right. Today we are going to go over how to create messaging and storytelling to make connections. I'm going to wait for people to log in and I'm going to share how we personally in our agency create brand voice and messaging for our clients. And I want you to take anything that you feel resonates with you today to be able to help you grow your business and practice and also be able to make connections because ultimately the connections you make is going to help you with conversions. So we're just going to wait a minute here and then we're going to jump right in. I like to wait like 2 or 3 minutes and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started today. And we don't have any fancy presentation today. It's literally just information to help you learn how to create messaging and to go back and even check if your messaging is making authentic connections with your audience. I do have a freebie that included in, I do have a freebie that is called, Are You Attracting, Is Your Messaging Attracting the Right Patients? So you can download that. That actually is a free guide to anybody. So I will make sure you can get access to that. I will drop the link in. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to talk about brand voice and messaging and how we personally in our agency create brand voices that help convert, that make connections, and also explain things in a way that help people once they contact you kind of already know what they need. The questions they have at that point are just personal to them on how you can specifically help them. So these are the type of questions we typically ask in our agency. And if you are one of our clients, you get this Q&A. If not, I do have a freebie for the general public on is your messaging attracting the right patients? And it'll be a self-assessment, a guide for private pay clinicians to see if your current messaging is actually helping you convert. All right, so these are the questions that we typically kind of ask. And if you want to take notes, definitely grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down some of these questions, especially the ones that resonate with you. And then make sure to grab that freebie so you can do that self-assessment at the end. All right, so in your own words, you would want to tell the audience why you started your business in general, not so much to focus not to focus so much on exactly like, this is why I'm so amazing, but like, where's your passion and where was your frustration? Like, why did you start this business or practice? And then from there, you can talk about kind of like the turning point of when you knew you were meant to start your own practice. And all this has a place of how it would come together, but this is generally the thought process you want to kind of start in. And then from there, you want to go to, what do you love most about the work you do? So this is a really important question because it's not just like, oh, I like caring for people. No, I want you to dig deeper. Like, what do you love most about what you do? Is it you helping people with very specific struggles? Like I have one client that told me they work with a lot of people that have chronic disease, chronic illness, people that like working with people that are struggling with weight loss, people that have struggled with eating disorders and helping them on recovery. Like, what is it you love most about your work? That is the key, not just the general basic answer, but like really dig in and be like, what is it that I'm really passionate about? And then from there, you're going to move on to like, who do you actually serve? And this is extremely important. Who do you most want to help? You can think of a specific person you've worked with or the kind of people who make you feel energized to help. What is this person's life right now? Describe them, their situation, their personality, their lifestyle, the person you want to help right now in this current moment. What is their life like? And then what do they wish they could change or improve? So why do they even need you? Like, what is it that they need to change and improve, that they desire to change and improve, that you can personally help them with? And then from there, we're going to go a little more into the nitty-gritty of the audience. So to help shape your brand voice that connects with your community, you want to talk a little bit more about like your location, the community vibe. Is your area more rural? Is it more suburban? Is it urban? Is it a beach town? Is it a mountain town? Like, what is unique about where you're from? Because that will also change the way you set up your messaging. For example, I have had a past client that lives in Colorado, and she said that she often gets people that come during certain seasons, and she wanted to be able to provide care for people that are traveling, that were coming to ski in Colorado, but they're not there all year round. So she wanted to create special plans around that niche or that focus. So things like that. Like, what is the location? What is the community vibe? And then general lifestyle and preferences. Are they more casual? Are they more professional? Are they family focused? Are they luxury oriented? Are they health conscious? Who is the person in the lifestyle that you tend to serve? Like, think of the people that you've either previously helped or people that you want to help. And then from there, what is their typical budget and comfort level? Would you say they tend to be budget conscious, value focused, or more affluent? Because the way you position that messaging is going to determine based on what kind of person they are, like what is important to them. And then anything else, like seasonal trends, local culture, pace of life, things like that. Think of that. Now we're going to get more into their challenges and their needs. So one of the most important things about messaging, and that I often see fail on websites, especially when websites are written more for key terms and not really written for conversion and connection. And you'll hear me say this: any type of service-based industry, not just private pay practice, any type of service-based industry, people want to know how you're going to help them and what kind of outcome are they going to get by working with you. So one thing I heard that like really resonated with me is people buy outcomes and solutions, not services. So think about that. People buy outcomes and solutions, not services. So from there, we're going to go into what is their biggest frustration and struggle or fear that they've had before finding you. So currently, today, in this present moment, what is their biggest frustration? What is their struggle? What are their fears? So think about that, because you want to speak to those pain points. How do these struggles affect their daily life, relationships, or work? Like, think about that. Like, why are they looking for you? Are they constantly fatigued? Like, I've worked with different clinicians and physicians. Actually, I worked with physicians that are focusing on menopause, specifically OB, well, mainly GYN, gynecology. So, how is this affecting them? Maybe they're like very low on energy. Maybe they're like exhausted all the time. Maybe they don't understand the changes they're going through. Are they having any relationship issues? Like, what are the things that are challenging them and keeping them from moving forward? What are they missing out on because of these problems? And then from here, you need to start thinking about your solution. How do you help them solve these problems? Explain it like you're talking to a friend, not writing an ad. So if I were to come into your office and I have no medical understanding or knowledge or language, how would you explain to me how you're going to help me overcome some of these very pain points that we've just hit above? What makes your way of helping different than others? Like, what is unique in your approach or your modality? What's the biggest transformation or win you've helped a client or patient achieve? Not that you're going to put this on your website, but to really start thinking like, what is a transformation? What is something you help someone accomplish that you can weave into your language of your website? And next, you have tone and personality. And these are the different types of tone and personalities. And of course, these are just a few, but just to give you an idea, are you warm and nurturing, like a trusted mentor who truly listens and cares about their success. Or bold and energetic, like a personal trainer who keeps you motivated moving forward. Is your tone calm and reassuring, like a guide who helps you navigate challenges with confidence? Are you focused and strategic, like an investor who sees the long-term value in health and future? Are you friendly and approachable, like a neighbor who's always happy to help? Are you professional and polished, like a consultant who brings clarity and direction? So these are just some ideas on how you want to sound and present yourself. So what are you like? What is your personality like? The way your copy sounds, the way your messaging sounds on your website should translate really well into when they meet you, it feeling very cohesive. Is your brand where a person, if your brand were a person, how would you describe its personality? So think about that. If your brand was a person, how would you describe its personality? What words or phrases do you naturally use with your clients and patients? Are there any words or tones you don't want to use? For example, clinic, provider, red tape, bureaucracy, like certain key terms you don't want to use in your copy, eliminate those. Also, try not to use language that is very medical. I always tell people when you write copy, you want to write it for like someone that's in fifth or sixth grade, that it's easy for them to read, that an everyday person can land on your website and understand the information that is on there. And then from there, you want to go into like inspiration and alignment. Share any quotes, mottos, or personal sayings that you love and you that feel like you that you can share on the website. Practical details. List your services and offerings. And typically that would be on your services and pricing page. List your servicing and offerings, offer your packages. But during your whole entire structure of creating your copy, you really want to first touch the pain points, then talk about how you solve the solutions, then talk about, what it is that what your background is, everything that you've done. But you always want to talk about like touch those pain points. Like, are you struggling with this? Or do you feel constantly exhausted? Or are you having a hard time setting boundaries with toxic family or whatever, like if you're in mental health? What are some of those pain points? And then from there, you can talk straight into, I have helped, I've have X amount of experience working with X type of people with X pain point. Or I've helped X people, X number of people with X pain point. Like that way people can begin to see that you're the expert. And when people see that you're the expert, they're typically willing to pay more because they feel like you're going to really help them with that pain point or issue, or they're willing to pay the cash for it. And then from there, you want to also list any like key benefits that they get from working with you and anything else about your approach and your history. And then when you talk about yourself in your bio on your landing page, you want to keep it kind of short. Again, what is your quick experience as far as like how many years have you been working in this chosen profession that you're doing? And how have you helped people? How have you helped transform people's lives with the level of care that you provide? And so instead of just listing your job history or your degrees, show how you help, show how you care, and then also add a little bit of a personal touch to make you relatable. And then what is your role and expertise in a simple reader friendly way? And then standout moment or experience that shows your impact. An example, one of my proudest moments was helping a patient reverse diabetes and avoid surgery. Like you're not giving too much information. You're not talking about that person's condition, but just like, how did you help transform somebody's life? Credentials and experience. On your about page, go ahead, add your licenses, your certificates, your specialties in plain language, and years of experience in the field, unique training, your niches. Example, I'm a licensed therapist specializing in trauma-informed therapy with over 12 years of experience. Quickly, you're sharing what you are as an expert, what you specialize in, and the years of experience doing it, because that says a lot as well. People begin to say, oh, wow, okay, this person can really help me. And then any notable any notable achievements or impacts, specific milestones, awards, recognitions, or leadership roles, transformations you've helped patients or clients overcome, community involvement, or any advocacy work. Another example could be I've guided hundreds of patients towards reversing chronic disease through lifestyle medicine. A personal detail that adds warmth. For example, when I'm not in the practice, you'll find me hiking on coastal trails with my rescue dog. It makes you feel more human, and it helps people feel like, oh wow, like I like that too, or feel like they might have something in common with you. And so this is essentially the type of process we go through with our own clients to really understand how they help people. And so I will go ahead and add the freebie, the assessment. Is your messaging attracting the right patients, so that you can go over it and find ways to better clarify your message to help convert your website better?